How y'all doing? Okay, hopefully you saw this in the video yesterday. Talking about this. This is kind of the last slide. Talking about the Japanese invasion of China. Okay, and with this, guys, the end of kind of a decade of peace. So World War I ends in 1918. Treaty of Versailles is signed. We set up the League of Nations. Obviously, we didn't join. The aftermath of World War I is devastating for countries. And then that peace really ends in 1931. So kind of in a historical sense, you could say this is kind of the beginning of World War II, but not yet. Okay, we're not really to a world war yet, but the end of the peace has come. And you see these two very large nations, powerful nations, Japan and China, at war. Now, the Japanese are dominating here, okay? And it's, like I said yesterday, it's frightening. The level of fundamentalist view that the Japanese have here, okay? This belief, thank you, in superiority that they have of themselves, okay? So we will be touching on this situation for weeks now. Okay, we'll be coming back to Manchuria. Hey, you remember 1931 Manchuria? Okay, and our relationship with Japan, though it doesn't end, is strained. And so Japan's relationship with the world is strained. But people don't want war, and don't care enough about the Chinese to intervene. Okay, remember when I talked about Rwanda? In Africa, we didn't get involved. All right, so it's a different mindset. This isolationism of this time period, guys, is key to the whole story. All right, now economically, isolationist; militarily, foreign policy, isolationist. All right, the last slide I have up here, guys, would probably cue you into the fact that knowing this may be a long answer on the test. Causes of the Great Depression, okay? Now, I will tell you this. The question is worth 6 points. Now, I'm going to ask you to list some causes and explain them. So how many are you going to need to know if it's worth 6 points?
3.
You get it? Right? You get one for less than one for explaining?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm like halfway there.
So can you get like extra credit?
No.
Wait, so if you know 6 of them, does that mean you get 6 points? Without explaining them?
No. No, you got to explain them.
Oh, darn.
3 of them.
Only 3? What about the last one?
Okay, guys, you gotta pay attention to the day before test, right? You gotta pay attention. Okay. So, Christofferson, will you explain to people what you know?
Yeah.
Tell them
About the test?
what you know about this question.
You only have to know 3 of them and be able to explain them. Okay. Only the 3.
Or those on mine.
So what happens if we do more than that?
Yeah, these are on your module in the notes. Yes. It's the last slide. Okay. When do you need to know them? By Monday. Wednesday for you. Okay. You need to know them on Monday. Okay. Now just quickly go over some of these. Okay. Remember, it's not the stock market itself, but it's the gambling within it, right? People buying stock based on the price, not really on the value of the product. Yes? Okay. Bank failures, obviously, this pushed us further into the Depression when you see 9,000 individual banks failed, which was about a quarter of the banks. 9 million people lost their deposits. This really hurts purchasing power. People can't buy things. Factories are going to slow down. People are going to lose their jobs, right? This was one that was really early, right? We had at the end of the last section where we said production outpaced wages, 40% production over a decade, where wages went up 26%. People were not making enough money to buy all the goods that were being produced, okay? The economic policy here, obviously with Europe, was tariffs, cause, okay? Unequal distribution of wealth is in your notes, and this goes back to actually production outpacing wages. Purchasing across the board would be individuals not having money. So once people lost their jobs, they couldn't buy anything. Okay. Unemployment rose above 25%. Okay. So these are things we've talked about throughout. Okay, and are easy to find and easy to write a little bit about. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Question. Am I what? Yes. Thank you. Okay, so now I'm turning this off, and I'm gonna pull up my test. I'm like, hi.
Is that the number 4? Is that the short question about tariffs, or was it a different one?
Different one.
A different one?
Yep. But you remember? Okay, so here we go. This is what your test is gonna look like. Okay. There are 14 matching. Matching.
Ideas.
Okay.
Oh, God, always people.
On my test, almost always it's people. Okay. So I give you a little bio and you match it with the name.
I don't even remember writing down.
You remember Calvin Coolidge?
Oh,
He
yeah.
was
Herbert
there.
Hoover?
Ooh.
Warren G. Harding? Andrew Mellon?
Mellon with two
With
L's.
2 L's? You remember Mitchell Palmer?
Lindbergh.
Lindbergh?
I am behind.
Me too.
The Babe?
I'm just really bad at names.
Babe Ruth? Babe Ruth?
I like
Is that really good?
No, I don't know.
Can we put Obama's on there? How he has a girl?
Who?
Obama. Who has Obama's the wimpy's girl? Obama's
Who has the wimpiest presidential photo?
Okay. All right, now, on this test, there are, I think I have 2 that are not named. Okay? Now, and then as I look at this, I see 1 name, 2 names that I haven't talked about.
Talk about it.
Yeah, we should talk about
So I'm about to give you 2 answers on the test, so pay attention. Okay? First, we're going to talk about Al Smith. Okay, this is good. Okay, Al Smith was the first. Okay, and he ran for president in 1928. So he ran against Herbert Hoover. Hoover was a Republican or a Democrat? All 3 of those guys, Harding, Coolidge, and Hoover, were all Republicans. So Al Smith is okay, but he's a special Democrat. He's the first Catholic ever to be nominated by a major party for president of the United States. Okay, and he is tried and true New Yorker. He's from New York City. Okay, Al Smith is a larger-than-life character. Okay, he's a lot of fun to study. Okay. So if you're still thinking about what do I want to read for this class, Al Smith will be somebody fun to read about. But anyhow, Al Smith, first Catholic, okay, and he's going to lose, okay, to Coolidge, 28. Now, one of the big campaign issues, remember Hoover was a Protestant.
Wait,
What did I say?
Hoover won against.
Yeah, he's going to lose to Coolidge. No, he's losing to Hoover. He's losing to Hoover. Sorry. Hoover was a Protestant, yes, and one of the big debates was over prohibition. Where do you think Al Smith, the Catholic, came down on that issue? He wanted to repeal prohibition. Okay. He lost, and we kept it till 1933. Okay. If he won, maybe it would have been in a different situation. Okay. All right, Al Smith. Okay, fun guy. And then the last one, the other one is John. Somebody you've never heard of. John Garner. Okay. 1932. He is going to be FDR's VP. So we heard mention of FDR in some of the videos, okay? A couple of little video clips talk about Roosevelt, Franklin Delano Roosevelt. I assume you've heard of FDR? Okay. His first vice president, Roosevelt is a New Yorker too. He's from upstate New York. Now, if you're a wealthy liberal Democrat from New York, where might you have trouble getting votes in the country? In the South. Okay, yes, you're right, in the South. So John Garner is from Texas. Okay? Texas. Okay? Now, you guys know how many terms FDR was elected to?
Like.
Okay? Long time. Now, he died in like a year and a half after, in his fourth term. He was just into his fourth term. Okay? So he had 3 different vice presidents. Okay? His first one was John Garner. Now, that was to get him elected. John Garner and FDR didn't get along. Okay? I mean, this guy was a cowboy boot, cowboy hat wearing Texan. Okay? And this is what he said about the vice presidency. He said the vice presidency isn't worth a warm pitcher of spit.
Ew.
That's like,
You know, like spittoon?
That's
Okay?
disgusting.
It's not, yeah, vice presidency. Okay? So he left. Okay? So Roosevelt would get 2 different vice presidents after that. Okay? One will be a guy named, you don't need to know this yet, but Wallace, and then Truman, who will take over when he dies. Okay? All right, so those were in the matching. Okay? Those are in the matching, you got to know. All right? 14 matching. Then we get to the multiple choice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 multiple choice. I don't like multiple choice questions because I don't like writing them. True and false are much easier to write.
No. Those are terrible. Those are miserable.
Sort of fill in the blank.
No, you did not.
oh,
No.
that
Can you give us the
Guys,
word
the
bank?
bank is closed. You only have 2 fill in the blank on this test. Now that number will grow. That number will grow.
Are they just anyone, like, about anything, or they got a certain topic?
Yeah, all this stuff is spread out throughout the chapter. So, all right. True and false. 1, 2, 10 true and false.
so is there 5 of these?
Worth 1 point each.
Is that 5 of these?
5 what?
Is 5 of these?
Can you tell us how
Oh,
many?
no. Now, if on not the next, it might be the next test. One of the tests you're gonna have to correct it or tell me why they're false.
They are.
Now, when we do that, I'll tell you how many true and false there are. But on this one, I'm not telling. So there's 10 true and false, worth 1 point each. Okay. Now the fun begins.
Oh.
Okay, you know there is one worth 6 points. Long answer. Yeah.
No. Easy.
Easy money.
Now, what's your review sheet? Does anybody print it out?
It
Just
just
a
had,
review sheet?
it just looked like one of Swords'
Let-
review sheets,
let me
where it
pull
just
it
had,
up.
like, topics
Let me
and
pull it
all
up.
that.
That was fair. That was literally just fair. So all of it was like
Wait,
3
we don't
pages
get
full of
free
just.
takes.
No.
You've been welcome, we're all freaking out.
Don't wing it. Do not.
Not like wing
Wing
it
it.
and like not study at all, but like I mean like I'm gonna look over it and hopefully I
Yeah,
just
because
get it.
we got essay questions.
Because are you serious?
Yeah.
Yeah, guys, this has been up for months.
No, it's not. It's been up since.
It's been up since like Monday. Like a week.
Oh, it's only been up a week?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you got a bunch of names and stuff, right? Some stuff's on there twice.
Oh, I know Ohio game.
Okay. Then you get down to the bottom. Okay. These are some good ideas for long answers. Okay, now there is one worth 5, 2 worth 4, 2 worth 3, 1 worth 6, you know about that one, and 1 worth 1. One, 2, 6 long answer and 1 it's just a question. You won't have to write in a complete sentence, guys.
One day test.
What's that?
Is it only one day for the test or is it 2?
Yeah, we're gonna get this done. 45 minutes, let's go. Don't screw around.
It's like actually long answer, or is that like just a like?
So, the way we talk about long answers is based on the point value. Okay, so you're gonna write a little bit more for the 5-pointer than you would for the 4-pointer. Okay. And guys, I haven't really thought about this too much, but one thing I might do, and I do this on some of my tests, to maybe shorten it a little bit, is like give you all of them and let you choose some, you know what I mean? Like, but so I don't. I got to think about that. Okay. We are having to make adjustments, but I want to keep the rigor that I have because this is not easy. This is a lot of information. Okay. So you guys have till when? Okay. No excuse. Go home before you go to bed. Has anybody printed out the notes? Okay. But you can pull them up on your computer. Okay. Or you wrote them all down. Read through your notes before you go to bed tonight. I know it's Friday night. Read through them before you put them by your bed. Read through them. And then do that Saturday night. You don't even have to study. Just read through them. And then do it again Sunday night. And then, maybe fill this out on Monday. Okay? And then you're getting closer. More sticks. You read, it's more sticks to your brain. You read through it a few times. Okay? All right? So the test as it is right now is 60 points. Okay? So it may change a little bit. I might do because I have different point values, I may have to restructure the questions a little bit to make, because I know there are some tests where I have 5 questions, pick 3 of them. I do have that on some of my tests. So I think I could probably easily do that. But so that might bring the point value of the test down a little bit. Okay. So that's about it. Okay. Okay. Short video. Take care there, Emma. Have a good weekend.